students, welcome to a brand new week. This is Dr. Mercado speaking. I hope all of you are doing well. In this particular week, we are continuing covering the content from Chapter 5, which deals with unemployment compensation. This is the second week that we cover Chapter 5, so by now you should have read the chapter and you should be more familiar with its content. Okay, I have selected 3 problems to go over with you this week. So I'm going to go over them in detail. That way you can have a better understanding and apply what has been learned in the chapter. Apply it to real scenarios. Okay, this is Accounting 1329, Payroll and Business Tax Accounting, and we are using the 2022 edition. Okay, so the first problem that I'm going to go over with you today is problem 5-7A. This deals with an employee being transferred from a factory in one state to another state. Okay, so we have to figure out the SUTA and FUTA taxes for that specific employee. Okay, so the problem reads, in April of the current year, Freeman Steel Company transferred Herb Porter from its factory in Nebraska to its plant in Michigan. The company's SUTA tax rates based on the experience ratings are 3.2 in Nebraska and 3.8 in Michigan. Both states base the tax on the first $9,000 of each employee's earnings. This year, Freeman Steel Company paid Herb Porter wages of $20,900. $2,800 were paid in Nebraska and the remainder were paid in Michigan. Compute. Okay, so the first requirement that we are being asked to compute is the amount of SUTA, the SUTA tax, okay, paid to Porter's wages in Nebraska. Okay, so the SUTA tax paid to Porter's wages in the state of Nebraska. Okay, so what is happening? We need to understand what's happening in this scenario. So we have this person, Herb Porter. He was being transferred from the factory in Nebraska to Michigan. Okay, so it's a transfer. He's still working for the same company, just a different location. Okay, each company or each state, pays SUTA taxes on the first $9,000 of each employee's earnings. Okay, so for SUTA tax purposes in this problem, the first $9,000 of earnings are taxable. Remember, SUTA varies by state. In this particular case, they're giving us the amount of SUTA in the problem. Now, FUTA does not change. The FUTA, which is the federal unemployment tax rate, it's standard across all states. And for FUTA, it's the first $7,000 of earnings, regardless of the state that you're in. Okay, so SUTA is the first $9,000 of each employee's earnings. FUTA is the first $7,000. Just make a mental note of that. Now, the employee got paid $20,900. $2,800 were paid in the state of Nebraska, and the remainder in Michigan. Okay, so what is the amount of the SUTA tax that the company must pay to Nebraska on Porter's wages? Okay, and let me put this exactly as it states here. The amount of SUTA tax the company must pay to Nebraska on Porter's wages. Okay, so the problem states that Porter got paid $2,800 in the state of Nebraska. Okay, so we have to contribute our SUTA tax based on those wages paid to Nebraska. Okay, so how much earnings did this employee earn in the state of Nebraska? Well, this employee earned $2,800. Okay, I'm going to multiply by the rate. Okay, and the problem says that the SUTA rate in Nebraska is 3.2%. 3.2% in Nebraska. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to multiply that by 3.2%. Right there. So let's see what we get. We're going to get $2,800 times 3.2%. So that means that we're going to put $89.60 into the state unemployment for Nebraska for this particular employee. Okay, $89.60. Okay, that is the first requirement. The second requirement is the amount of SUTA tax the company must pay to Michigan on Porter's wages. Okay, so now we're looking at Michigan. So remember, Porter got moved, was moved from Nebraska to Michigan. So based on the information provided, he worked very little in Nebraska. The remainder of the year he worked in Michigan. So he was transferred early on. So he started working in Nebraska and then he ended the year in Michigan. Okay, so we need to figure out how much of his earnings. Remember, he made $20,900, and this is where students get confused. What they want to do is they want to get the $20,900 and subtract the $2,800 that was earned in Nebraska to figure out how much he earned in Michigan, which is perfectly fine. But let's remember this. We only pay SUTA taxes on the first $9,000 of wages. Okay? So, because this is still the employee of Freeman Steel, the same company, it was just a transfer. We know that we have already paid SUTA taxes on the first $2,800 of wages earned in Nebraska. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my $9,000, which is the maximum. That is the amount that I am liable to pay taxes on. Okay? It says here that we have to pay SUTA taxes on the first $9,000 of each employee. Okay? That is the key. The first $9,000 of each employee. So I know that I need to pay SUTA taxes on the first $9,000. I know that I've already paid taxes, okay, to the state of Nebraska on the first $2,800. Okay, so that means that I only need to pay taxes, SUTA taxes, on the remainder, which is $6,200. Okay, so this is the amount, the SUTA taxable wages for the state of Michigan. Okay, once I figure that out, I'm going to get my $6,200 and I'm going to multiply it by my rate in Michigan. Okay, so my rate in Michigan is 3.8%. Okay, so I'm going to multiply my 6,200 times my 3.8%, and let's see what that gives us. So it's 6,200 times 3.8%. That gives me $235.60. Okay. So, Freeman Steel Company needs to pay $89.60 to Nebraska for the wages earned of Herb Porter in that state. Then, Freeman Steel Company needs to pay SUTA taxes to Michigan for the remainder of the $9,000. So we get the maximum amount in each state is $9,000. And then we subtract what we have already paid in Nebraska to get my SUTA taxable wages. And then I multiply it by my Michigan SUTA rate, which is 3.8%. Okay. Now letter C. Okay. Letter C is the amount of the net FUTA tax on Porter's wages. Okay. So, I know that for FUTA, I don't care what state they're in, we are going to pay FUTA taxes on the first $7,000 of wages. That does not change. My FUTA rate is 0.6%. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and get my 7,000 times my 0.6%, and that's going to give me $42. Okay? We should know by now, based on the information that we have read in the book, that my FUTA cap is we pay $7,000 of FUTA taxes for each employee. That is outlined in the chapter. We also know that we have the actual FUTA rate is 6%, but then we have an allowance of 5.4% explained in the chapter that leaves us with a 0.6 rate for our FUTA tax. Okay, and that gives us $42. Okay, so these are the three requirements in the problem: the SUTA taxes in Nebraska, the SUTA taxes in Michigan, and the FUTA taxes for that specific employee. Okay, and these taxes are at employee by employee level. It's not on a group. It's not on the total No, it's every employee we have to analyze. How much has each employee earned? Because we need to pay $9,000 for SUTA for each employee, and then we need to pay $7,000 on the first $7,000 of earnings for each employee for FUTA. Okay, so it's at an employee level. We have to figure out how much has each employee earned so we can make sure that we charge the correct portion of both FUTA and SUTA taxes on this employee. Make sure that you read the problems carefully, that you understand the information being provided, so you can properly perform the necessary calculations for the problem. Okay, so that is it for problem 5-7A. I hope it helps you out. And until next time, have a wonderful day.